This will be the first use of our very own wedding pics, if I can hold it.
My name is Carey Migliaccio, and I met my husband-to-be Chris Balogh in Aruba in October 2004, and we're getting married this Saturday in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
About 3.5 years ago, I was on a tour with John Mayer, and we were flying to Aruba to do the Aruba Music Festival.
The first night we got there, I actually saw him at the bar, and he wasn't part of our group, and at first I thought he was a local for some reason, and I thought, oh, he's my type.
And went down to the beach for a beer and just to relax. And we picked a table, and right across from the table on a beach chair was Carey. So my head was spinning. I was at work and I was in work mode, but I thought, oh wow, this is a good opportunity. And
so it just was so amazing that I met him on the beach, and he happened to be with the band, and we got to go to the show.
Neither of us had business cards. We just scribbled down an email address, and
he sent me flowers when we got back and poems, and I said, oh, this isn't going to work because he's long distance.
Over 15 years of touring, I've gotten used to two things: that you're going to be a lonely person, you'll have your friends that are in every city that you go to in the world, and that becomes your family. So that's the first thing you get used to. Your relationships never work. I just had a weird feeling inside of me that if I didn't persist on this, that it would be just another one of the times in my life that, something just didn't work out.
He was in town for Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I'd only met him that one night in Aruba, and he was all by himself on Christmas Eve, and I invited him to come home to New Jersey. It was a big step because I have a big Italian family. We have the big, traditional 7-course Italian meal the night before Christmas.
This makes me even more excited about getting to know Carey, because she has this incredible backing system. Her family's there for her. They have these events that are absolutely nuts all the time. Everybody comes over. It
just felt like no one else was in the room when we were together. And I didn't care what my family thought. Like usually, I have to get the approval, and I didn't care.
I think we had our first kiss that night too. Just a quick kiss on my way out the door.
After that night, I said I need to either accept his unconventional lifestyle or not, because he travels 300 days a year. So it wasn't going to be like, oh, I miss you. I had to accept it or not.
All I could think about was going home to see her, and I believe I sent a text message at about 5 in the morning my time and told her I loved her, which I think it might have been the first time that I actually said that. I love you by text. But Phil Collins divorced his wife with a fax, so it's a new age.
Last year he was traveling with the Rolling Stones, so he was in Europe for 3.5 months.
It's not once in almost 3 years had Carey even once broke down and mentioned the fact that I was gone as much as I had been.
I went to visit him halfway through, but it was kind of like, the home stretch. I felt like if we could get through this, we could get through anything, because that was, I think, the longest we were apart. And then he came back, and he was asked to produce the Aruba Music Festival that year, October of last year, and it was our 3-year anniversary.
A good friend of mine that runs a division of Live Nation, he made me an offer just doing the exact same thing as I do, but wait a minute, I'm going to be in New York, I'm going to be home. In my head I was like, great, this couldn't be more of a perfect scenario, so I'm definitely going to do this, and I'm definitely going to ask her to marry me in Aruba.
And on our anniversary, the 3rd day into it, we went to a private island.
There's a peninsula that goes out on the water, and Carey really likes hammocks a lot. So I figured, well, I got to get to this hammock because that's where I want to do this. I reached behind to scratch my head, and I sort of pulled the box out.
So he hands me the box and he says, "Happy anniversary." And so I opened the box, and there was the ring, and he said, "Will you marry me? And thank you for putting up with me traveling for 3 years." And I said yes. So I'm crying. Sorry.
And it was like a pretty stunning moment. All this sunshine from the day seems to just rip right through your body. You turn red hot, and I'm sure I looked like a beet or a carrot or something. But she was just as red, and it was very emotional. It was great.